Yes, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and also good morning. Depends on your time, on the location from where you are watching Biafra TV. So I greet you and I salute all the new Biafrans. And I also greet my president, Nnamdi Kanu. Good evening, sir, from here. I greet my prime minister, Simon Ebanjoko, who finally was arrested and detained illegally. Good evening, good morning to you all. I greet our Deputy Prime Minister, the Chief of Staff, Dr. Ngozi Orabeze, who made the declaration of United States of Biafra to become a reality. I salute you from here and I greet you also. Thank you so much for all you do for the Biafran people. Thank you so much for the good work. Thank you so much for standing strong, for standing tall against all odds, against enemies, within and without. We appreciate you. We can't thank you enough because we must continue. Thank you for the good job, for giving us hope, for you to become another savior in our time. Thank you so much for understanding the importance of Biafran people and the kind of love you have for us. That is why we, the new Biafrans, say, may Elohim protect you and guide you. May Elohim see you through. May the enemies never succeed in their evil plan. As we Biafran people are at back you to continue doing what you are doing for us, to continue making the life of Nnamdi Kanu to be free, to continue making the life of Simon Ekpa to be free, to continue making the life of every Biafran in this world to be free. Because of this, we thank you and we say you live long to see United States of Biafra that we are fighting for. We thank you so much. Thank you so much for all you do. Also, we thank all the cabinet members, also those who are helping, advising, managing the offices very well, and also working assiduously to make sure that the United States of Biafra gets their independency and also get their own international recognition like every other country. That is why we are thanking you so much for everything good that you are doing for us. We are thanking you, all of you who are on the side of the government, and we also pray all of you as who can protect all of us and guide us as we adhere to our recognition to go to Biafra land and establish it and see ourselves and say, oh, we all have done well. That is the area that we are going. That is the area that is very important to us. So my fellow comrades, my fellow Biafrans, I also thank all the independent media who are on the side of the government, who said, no, we will never allow this government to suffer. We will never allow this good job to be destroyed. We will never enemies come close to try to think they can do it. I thank you for you to standing tall. I thank you for you to being here. I thank all of you and every of us. We thank ourselves because of what we are doing, what we are achieving. There is one thing that we all must know on the importance of what we are doing. The time we are into is no longer the kind of time we were before. Everything has changed. That's why I will always use this word, that we must adhere to the changing of the time and the focus on how things are happening to us. We have to, these areas that our changing need to made by now. The level of our reasoning to understand the game, the politics that we are into this time around. It's no longer the way this way is supposed to be. I will say this way. If you don't accept it, tell you you are on. No, 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 no. It's a time to bring everything together and reason them together, and also find out that what we are reasoning together is it how the law asks us to do it. If it is not the way the law asks us to do it, then we must adhere to live that way and not the other way around. It's a high time we use our message, our platforms, to send a message to the world for them to understand that that thing they are hiding from us that are so far so good that we have understand, and we are here to correct all these things and adhere to the importance of a government and how the government can help us to achieve what we are looking for. In everything we do, we must do it this time around to meet those criteria, and also to prove to the world how smart, how intelligent, and how peaceful we are. Even though when the enemies brought the fight on our doorstep, we must coordinate ourselves. We must prove resistance on those things. And remember, how we handle these things is also how the world will know how serious we are. That's why I told you that our level of reasoning, our level of understanding, our level of things we do must adhere to change. Because when we change the way we are reasoning, everything about us is going to change, my people. So do not be deceived by anybody. Do not be discouraged by anybody, but stand tall against all. That is what is most important in what we are doing right now. The first person on the comment section is my brother Easyway. Good evening from here. Thank you so much. My brother, I salute you. There is things that we need to know. There are things that we must do. And there are those that are, when they are not important, no need doing that, because they might be wasting, we might just wasting our time unnecessarily in some certain things that are happening towards the world. But what matters most is how we as the Biafran people are addressing all these issues and how we are handling it. And now we say we are government. What are you doing? What are you thinking? What do you think that this is what will help the government? It's part of the things that we have to reason before we move more. Let us listen to Nnamdi Kanu. I want us to remain something from you.
They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up or I am lowered into the grave. One of the two must happen. It is better for this heaven and this earth not to exist than for Biafra not to come to pass. It's a promise and a pledge we are making to them. It's a promise and a pledge we are making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up or I am lowered into the grave. One of the two must happen. It is better for this heaven and this earth not to exist than for Biafra not to come to pass. It's a promise and a pledge we are making to them. It's a promise and a pledge we are making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up.
Now, the question is, what are you doing to make sure that Biafra comes? Now, the question I want to ask all of us is, who among all of us remember the age of Nnamdi Kanu? Who among us remember the age of Nnamdi Kanu? And for how many years has Nnamdi Kanu fight for this freedom of the Biafran people? If you are fanatical, if you want Biafra to come, when is the due time for you who are against the government want the Biafra to come? Nnamdi Kanu said that two things will happen. Either the flag or either the University of Biafra flag raised or he lowers in the grave. None of these two that want it to happen, none of these two has happened. We want him alive and the flag has been raised. He's supposed to be alive. The question is that we all must ask ourselves is this. I ask this question. What is the age of Nnamdi Kanu? Number one. How many years has he fight for this freedom? And then ask yourself, how many years did Junior Martin Luther King fought for America independence? How many years did Gandhi of India fought for India freedom? How many years did Bangladesh fought for their own freedom? Nelson Mandela, how many years? Now bring the age of Nnamdi Kanu, 50 words. Maybe you may know more than me. Like 59 or 57. Between these two, one is correct. Now, if you check his age, and from 2000, let me say from 2015 to 2024, is that how many years? Is that how many years? If happens to be a child who is going to school from primary, so he's going to from primary school, from nursery school, or from nursery. Has he never graduated from secondary school, from primary school? Or on such child, I wish about by now. Do you know that in the history of fighting for a new country exists, that it's not supposed to last for 6 years? That highest 6 years, everything in between is completed, both recognition, both being in a country. Do you know that? Why I want us to try our mind back before I go to the main topic or what is on our headline. If you count age of Nnamdi Kanu, if you count how many used for this freedom, you will know that he has suffered so much. You will know that you need the declaration of United States of Biafra for you to make him a happy man, whether he's alive or he's dead, because his own is two things. But to wish him alive, to be alive, we want him to be alive because we want him to sit down and enjoy all these things. Also give a direction because his brain is hot. His brain is hot. I want you to ask yourself, as you are listening to Nnamdi Kanu, what is that thing that is coming to your mind? As you are listening to the voice of Nnamdi Kanu, what is that particular thing that is coming to your mind? Chidera, good evening from here. Agonaya, good evening from here. As you are listening to the voice of Nnamdi Kanu, what is, as you are listening to this particular topic, what is that thing that is coming into your mind right now? Is my question to you, who are listening, who are watching, who refuse to subscribe, who refuse to like, who refuse to comment. What is coming to your life, to your mind? Is it for us to continue? Have you checked in the history if any country has used agitation gets their independence, get their new country? Have any country in the world used agitation to get their independence? Have any country, because of their current placards, their current flag on the road, gathering together, dancing, can they have any country in the world use that thing to get independence or to become a new country? Because I am asking this question for those one IPOB, one Nigeria, who always carrying flag. Tell me that country who has, because of the years they are spending carrying flag and the placards, just mention one country in the world. Only two things give you freedom: referendum, or you go into war. And the Mazinagan told us, we have chosen to fight. How are you fighting? Is the question. And the what are you fighting? You follow Biafra. Fighting a declaration of a state that will save the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and every Biafran, whether outside Nigeria, whether in Nigeria, whether in detention, whether in prison, and you turn against it. What is coming to your mind? If you have a child from 2015 till today who are still in primary school, are you going to say that the child is doing well? If you have a friend who from over years you met him, over from 2015 to 2025, and that's your friend, are still doing one thing since you know him, what kind of friend do you use, that kind of a person? I ask you, as you are listening to the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what is that thing that is coming to your mind right now? Can you tell me in the comment section? Are you prepared more than the way you were before? Are you fanatical about this movement that now that Biafra has been declared, now the flag has been raised? What is your contribution? Why are you fighting? Why are you lying? Why are you propagating lies? Why are you running propaganda? Why is it such things that we are seeing in your hand? Why also the same thing we are doing from time immemorial is what you continue doing to become a sabo in your own freedom, in your own country, where you can exercise your right of a human being fully, where the right of a human being is being given 50-50, 100% by 100%, equally to equal. I want to ask you what you are doing. Is it when you hear Mazi Kanu said, we are fanatical about this Biafra, you say it on the mouth, but you who are using such a word are betraying your brothers, you fall back. Why are you falling back? Why are you repeating class when there is a chance for you to pass your exam and move forward? These are things that call for an answer. After I have listened to the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, anytime I listen to it, I pick up something that I have to meditate about it. And after that, what comes to my mind? That I must continue to do what it is right. I must continue to make sure that our declaration stand. I must continue to make sure that the mandate is being protected. What is that mandate? It's a declaration of United States of Biafra as a country. Why we must know all these things is for you to prepare yourself ahead of what is come. Having a new country is not easy. Having a new country is not easy. But because of have you made up your mind to stand even when this freedom becomes very bitter, more than bitter cola, become bitter more than bitter leaf. Are you going to still stand, or are you going to run away? These are the questions that you must anchor yourself. Why did you fall back? Why are you saying lies? Why are you castigating the government? Why are you doing something that you know that what I am doing is not going to anywhere help the government? And why am I doing that? These are questions that call for an answer. If you're a true Biafran, I want you to know, we are the one holding ourselves. But you see, you who stand on the side of the United States of Biafra, one in a month, you are doing well. Continuously doing that well, because Chukwu Okabiam has mandated that we, in our own time, that Biafra will be restored. Chukwu Okabiam has mandated that in our own time, that Biafra will be what? Will be restored, and nobody's going to stop it. Despite all the saboteurs, despite all the enemies here and there, despite what we are seeing today, I want you as a Biafran to be strong, to understand the importance of the time that we are into. When everything is coming to an end, it becomes more harder than the way it is before. That is what we are seeing. That's what is happening to us. That is why I call on you to stand strong. to be yourself. Do not panic, because what we are doing is what we're supposed to do. And if we didn't do it, it will come back to hurt us. There is a brother who I want to borrow his words, who she knows very well, one of our own. Exodus Biafra TV says that when the men, that all the enemies of Biafra are heading to Red Sea. Our brother Clenna said, when men undermine the truth that is where we are. So my fellow Biafrans, I call on you to stand strong with your government. I call on you to give more support on the government. I call on you to be strong. That's what we are doing. Look at Nnamdi Kanu. Look at him. Look at his life. Look at his condition. What do you think that is that thing that will bring Nnamdi Kanu out? No freedom fighter court has granted free in the world. In the history of the world, no freedom fighter court has granted freedom. What grant their freedom is a declaration of a new country and a workable government who will argue, who will change his status to become a president of a new country. Then his status will change. They will stop addressing him like a common criminal, a common terrorist, a common rebel, a common insurgency. Nelson Mandela was released with something, you know. Martin King of America released with something. Go and verify. Gandhi of India released with something, with their country. Chegumi of Bangladesh released with his country. After their people has got recognition, he was released. If you are hoping that Nigeria will release Nnamdi Kanu, you are deceiving yourself. That is why they asked his lawyers to open a defense. It will take another 10 years. The only thing that is legal, that has legitimacy to release him is one thing. This our official declaration and our self-referendum vote and our international recognition. Once we get recognition, it's part of the things that are going to release Nnamdi Kanu. And for anybody who refuses to support the declaration under United States of Biafra, never wants Nnamdi Kanu alive. Anybody who is not on the side of this government never wants Nnamdi Kanu alive. I want to know that. When you listen to the histories of those who has fought for freedom, how they were released, we have done that in this page, this platform you are seeing. So how those who fought for freedom was released, none of them was granted freedom by any court, by any lawyer. The worst part of it is that those that Nnamdi Kanu, do they believe that Biafra has been declared? How do you think they will bring him out? And you are fighting against what will release Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Eba. And all the Biafrans who has been in the prison from 2015 till today, I pity you. Who refuse to understand the time that we are into. Who refuse to understand the time that we are into, what clock is reading. And you want Nigeria, this man Nnamdi Kanu, you are a fool. And you are fighting against the government. You are an idiot. No courts will grant Nnamdi Kanu freedom. Only the name United States of Biafra is what will grant him freedom. Like, I quote Gandhi of India. I quote Rahiba Man of Bangladesh. I quote Nelson Mandela. I quote Juma Kenyatta of Kenya. Go and verify these people. How they get their freedom, how did they come outside? No country, no law, no lawyer, nobody will grant Mazi Kanu free except you and I. How we push for our international recognition is only what will grant him free. Go and verify it. I asked you, I said, go and verify from law. Type on your phone, how did Rahman of Bangladesh was released on your phone? Just type it on the Google. It is everywhere. If you're using archive, type there. Any platform, anything you use to search, go there. Even on Facebook, go there and search. You may understand why I'm sounding this way. Search how Maghandi of India was released. Search how Juma Kenyatta of Kenya was released after 10 years in prison. And what triggered his release? When people of Kenya slacked back, Britain was holding their leader. But when they pushed forward, make a declaration that Kenya has become a sovereign state and get recognition, the leader was released to them. And when he comes back, every position lie low. He become the first prime minister, he become the first president. Kenya start using that name, president and the prime minister, at a time as the detained leader. At a time, they start using it. And that name is very, very sacrosanct when it's come to the freedom of the people. I ask you, what are you doing? What is really a contribution in our Bamba? You don't want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu alive. You never want him alive. That is why you are sheepishly running propaganda, lies against the government of the United States of Biafra. It's only on this government is what we set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu free. Our once recognition is that thing that we set him free. If I say, I ask you, go and research, so you may find out. Go and research. You may understand. Do not just be there maneuvering the platforms and saying it the way you want. Say it the way we think about it. Say it the way we want it. Can never grant him freedom. Nigeria government cannot, unless we stand up and do the needful. What is the needful that we must start doing? We must start calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the president of United States of Biafra. That is part of this I want to prove to you this evening here. How a name can save you. You know that your name can save you. Like Mommy Ngozi, like Chidubem, Chionye Neduya, Chionye Nagozia, like every other name here, Ogonnaya. All these things are there is a meaning into all these things. There is something that all these things represented. We must reason like people who want our president Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. We must address issues like people who want their president, their party leaders out. Our two leaders, the president Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the prime minister Simon Ekpa, all are incarcerated from the hands of the enemies. What are we going to do to free them out? Use their name. Use that name they call, that this name is a figure name, that this name has what it means, that nobody will see such a name and pass away without waiting. Remember our code in this platform. Hashtag Finland government. Release Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of United States of Biafra. Britain/Nigeria government. Hashtag release President of United States of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We must change things. There is things we have to change. There is things that we must change at the time that we are into. We must change it. You might don't like the way I'm saying it, but this is the pure truth. This is fact and figure. Please, my people, let us save their life. Save the life of Nnamdi Kanu by any of your topic. Anywhere you write something, write his name as the United States of Biafra President, Nnamdi Kanu. A name saves human being. Even in time of Bible, a name save life. A name help. And what we are doing social media right now also will trigger everything. Because the workable government is a government that have people on social media who are propagating about the government and the goodness of the government and how the government is about to rule and see and help their people. These are the things that we need to do. And also, international support we are doing. There is international laws. We are presenting them out to the world for them to know that this is what you say we should do. And we are doing it. So what next? What next is in the hands of those people. What next is in the hands of Nigeria, of international laws to question and query Nigerian government for illegal detention of Nnamdi Kanu by saying you are detaining a president of a new nation. They said that through this way, the Nigerian government are arbitrarily committing a crime. This is what they told us. DOS, yes, Ogana, thank you so much. Nigeria, hashtag Nigeria free USBG president Nnamdi Kanu, a prisoner of conscience in Nigeria DSS custody. Thank you so much. That is we are going to dive into the laws that back up what I'm telling you, into things that we need to put in consideration, into things that are going to help us, into things that we need to do. That is why we are here. You know, on this platform, we have our own different way of doing things. We do what Walker asks us to come and do. So please, maybe if you don't like it, please bear with us. This is all we can do. So, Nnamdi Kanu is not a citizen of US. No. Nnamdi Kanu is a citizen of UK. But what happened today? They backed down because Britain was the one planning everything that Nigeria government is doing to the Biafran people. Have it out of your mind. They are our problem. Nigeria government is what? Our problem that we are facing. Those enemies within in and within out, many of them may not really be our enemy. The way Nigeria government becomes our enemy. Everything that is happening, everything that is going on, there is why everything is happening the way it's happening. In everything that is happening, what is your stake? That's why I ask you, what are you doing to help release of Nnamdi Kanu? Is it by you standing here? Is it by you refusing to stand on the truth side of what we are doing? Is it by you cascading lies against the government of United States of Biafra? Do you think that we are doing well? Without wasting time, let us go into the main headline. I have taken my 34 minutes to do my preamble to remind you those things that you may be forgotten. That is what I just did right now. So you may be encourage yourself to know that if anything happens to Nnamdi right now, also it's also in your hand to act for something not happen to him. It is very, very important, my people. We will not shy away from the truth. I am going to play you the one we handled in the morning, and also the main one we have this evening for the Biafran people to listen, for us to do the way we normally do analysis on them. What we are doing here is quite different from what you will heard from any other platform. This is a pure truth. We have our own different way, not the way that every other persons are doing their own. But we are here to put it down to the way it is. Listen to this. Why we have to change the name of Nnamdi Kanu to become a president of United States of Biafra. Obato Obie remains the prime minister. And if you look at it, Obato Obie didn't know well how all things work in. When he come, he stay away from that name. Even when he was answering prime minister, Biafra was never declared. But because of the self-referendum and the mandate of the people given to him, that is why he used that name. Now is the right time to clarify those names in the world stage. You can use the name of Nnamdi Kanu being United States of Biafra president to argue on the international global stage. That is the truth that we all must know. We should not shy away from it. We should not. Even though that he don't know Biafra has been declared. But what is he fighting for? For Biafra. He told you here that either Biafra flag raised up or he lowers in the grave. That is why you must give him that name, that accolade. He belongs to him. Whether he will come outside and said no, but let that name serve him. That name is very important. Listen to this.
Changing an arrested leader's status to the president of a new country can be a powerful political and legal tool to secure his release, primarily by invoking the principle of state immunity under international law. This strategy shifts the legal basis of his detention from a domestic criminal matter to a diplomatic and international law issue between states. 1. The power of head of state immunity. The most significant legal advantage gained by making the arrested leader president is the potential claim of head of state immunity. Status-based immunity. Under customary international law, a sitting head of state, president, monarch, etc., generally enjoys personal immunity from the criminal jurisdiction of foreign states. This immunity is absolute while they are in office, even for acts committed before they took power. The argument for release. The new country's government would immediately notify the custodial state and the international community, e.g., the United Nations, that the detainee is now their head of state. They would argue that to continue holding the president is a direct violation of the sovereignty of the newly independent state and a breach of international law regarding state immunity.
I want you to take a pause and think here. That's now under international customary international law that we have to. The argument for release of Nnamdi Kanu, the new country government would immediately notify the custodial states and the international community, e.g., the United Nations. Dr. Ngozi Arabeze and the government of the University of Biafra, all the cabinet members, both our lobby, both our congressmen, must do what? Must give information to international custodial, international communities, e.g., like the United Nations, that a president of a new country is being kidnapped since over 5 years. You had it here. I'm not the one saying it. This is international primary steps to release Nnamdi Kanu. This is a way to release him, is what we're telling you. Because Nigerian government cannot release him. And also reminding the world that the president is arrested is also going to trigger recognition for them to leave him outrightly. That the detainee is now their head of state. That Nnamdi Kanu, who Nigeria is detaining, is the head of state of United States of Biafra by the name president. They would argue that to continue holding the president is a direct violation of the sovereignty of the newly independent state. I hope you had it here. Why I am on this mood. These are the things that we have to do. Nobody will do it for us. Do you really want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out? Do you really want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out? Why are you not using his name as a president of United States of Biafra? To argue on the United Nations and EG into AU. All of them. What are you waiting for? For how long before we start using his name? Is what is very important, and it is sacrosanct in the movement that we're into right now. I told you, the time we are into is no longer that time we reason the way we are. It's a time we make another direction into what we are seeing. What is our problem? Why is it hard for us to call him Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? See, what is that mean of what the Onyendu? See, freedom fighting UN Adra Sibo, Onyendu. We must tell ourselves common truth. Every of us. Those who are the cabinet members, please rethink. Put a capability where there is. Put a hope where there is no hope. In the prayer of Master Naka, you told that Chukwu Okadiama, put capability where there is no capability, put faith where there is no faith. Now there is everything is lingering like this. Give him this name, he deserves it. I heard his voice before I joined. No other voice. I heard his voice. His voice brings me in. Which voice do you have before you join? The next voice that encouraged me is the voice of Simon Ekpanjoko, the Prime Minister of United States of Biafra. Is the next voice I heard, and I believe that we are going somewhere. After the arrest of the Prime Minister by Finland authority, our DPM, Chief of Staff, give us another hope. Make us to be life. Bring us back to life by declaration. That is why you must respect these three people. If there is no Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, there is not going to be Mazi Simon Ekpa. If there is no Mazi Simon Ekpa, there is not going to be Ngozi Araboeze. This is how school can be on my planet. Because there is Christ, that is why there is Peter, there is John. If Christ did not come, how are you going to know about Peter and John and James? That's why in kind of everything, if there is no Chukwu Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, there will be no Owazurike. Take it or you leave it. If there is no Owazurike, it is not going to be Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Owazurike brought the time of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at a time brought Uche Mefo, who derailed and walk away from the movement. Are you following? That is why I told you, if there is no God, there will be no Jesus Christ. There will be no Peter. There will be no the apostles. The same thing happened to us. When God told you that after him, that the second in command is Jesus Christ, where we find ourselves today is under the same category. Is where we find ourselves. The father of all father of this movement is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Are you doubting that? Are you doubting it? If you don't want him, if you are fighting against the declaration, you are fighting to Nigeria to keep Nnamdi Kanu incarceration until he dies. You have to rethink what we are doing. You must think. Can you suffer what Nnamdi Kanu has suffered today? What is holding us to give him United States of Biafra president? Now his incarceration. And they said here that changing of this name changing an arrested leader status, we must change their status from calling Nnamdi Kanu a common criminal, like the way Finland treated Simon Ekpa. There is many things to do. We left a government to choose. Do you know that we can also do protests? Hashtag Finland government release our prime minister, the prime minister Simon Ekpa of United States of Biafra. All Finland embassy, both in America, both in UK, both in Germany, both in France, both all these top countries in the world. We could, but depend on the one that our government choose, and we allow them to do that one. But if we find out that it's very quiet, we have our voice to raise. Nobody is perfect human being. We have one of our shortcomings. That's what makes us a human being. The ability for us to reason and real reason is what makes us to live as a human being. I want you to know one thing from today. For me, I choose that name, United Nnamdi Kanu, the president of United States of Biafra. For me, Biafra TV. I choose the name Prime Minister for Simon Ekpa. You already know that one. If you can give Simon Ekpa as currently new word that the world observe very well, give him a prime minister. What stops you from giving Nnamdi Kanu the president? When there is no father, there is no mother. When there is no son. Take it or you leave it. My people, we must change. We must adhere to another level that will trigger two of them release. You had it here. I did not say that. Changing an arrested leader's status to the president of a new country can be a powerful political and legal tool to secure his release. Primarily by invoking the principle of state immunity under international law. UN Charter. When you go to the UN Charter, you go to where they write single treaty article under that UN Charter. Then you will get what I am doing here today. The legal basis of his detention from domestic criminal matter to a diplomatic and international issue between a state. Now that we are a state, we must anchor him United States of Biafra president. Or do you want it? Do you want that name? Who deserves that name? Give a crown to the head that it fits his master Nnamdi Kanu. Do you see his body? Do you see how he look? After you see him in the court, what is into your mind? After seeing him, that is when I start searching for what I'm reading today. I say, what can the government, how can changing name release this man? Because every other country changes the names of their leader. Maybe they was arrested. I mean, they made the declaration. They changed their names. What is holding us is the question I'm asking. For how long? You know or you never knew that Nigeria can never free him. 5 years and it's over. Now they told his lawyers to open defense. Do you think that defense can last from now to when? Do you think they can never release him? If they release him, can he be free? The only free he has is under United States of Biafra government. Because of what it is I'm reading, I understand the importance of declaration and what the government has to do. That's giving him a president is to change his status to a legal basis of his detention from a domestic criminal, a domestic terrorist that's charging him, a domestic insurgency, a domestic rebel, or whatever name that Nigeria is choosing on him. My people, what is our problem? Why can't we change it? It says to a diplomatic and international law issues based on the states. You see, do you see where the right is coming from? Do you see how it is? Continue listening.
A political bargaining chip. The custodial state is then faced with a choice: either validate the new country's sovereignty by releasing its head, or maintain the arrest and risk international condemnation for interfering with the head of a sovereign state.
Do you hear it? Remember what we're saying here is, after declaration, a newly independent new state. That if Nigeria refuses, when we start using that name, a president of Biafra for Nnamdi Kanu, then the international will ask them, why are you illegally holding a president of a new country? Do you not see it here? Including the one of which the new president was arrested. A newly country that must have a president. Now our leaders are in incarceration. Why are we not using the right name that will trigger international pressure on Nigeria or our recognition? Why are you not using it? Please, from today, call him our president. He deserves it. I want to ask on comment section before I continue. Do you think that Nnamdi Kanu deserves to answer a president of United States of Biafra? Do you think that? With what we are seeing here? With what we are seeing here? Do you think, I want to see an answer, please. Do you think, I want to see how many people will comment here that they think that Nnamdi Kanu deserves to be a president of the United States of Biafra? Divine Precious, good evening. I can see you, you're welcome. Under international law, Nnamdi Kanu deserve to be answering United States of Biafra president. I want to read it again so you may understand it. You may see it clearly. Changing an arrested leader status to the president of a new country can be a powerful political and legal tool to secure his release, primarily by invoking the principle of the state's immunity under international law. UN Charter, single article is what we look for. That is where it's coming from. We need to change his name. This strategy, shifting the legal base of his detention from a domestic criminal matter to a diplomatic and international issue between the states. This is what international is all about. The power, number one, the power of the head of state. The most significant legal advantage gained by making the arrested leader president is the political claim of a head of a state's immunity. Political claim. Now it's becoming into politics. It triggers attention. It triggers pressure. The immunity. This international law, UN Charter. Go to where, if you go to UN Charter, just type under UN Charter, single treaty article. It will give you what I am reading here today. We are lacking this. We are lacking this because none of us have raised a voice. Come as Nnamdi Kanu, a president of United States of Biafra. If they say it may change his domestic criminal matter from charging him terrorists, insurgency, sponsoring group of people, giving people order to do this and do that one. This is what is going to change when we start calling him our president. I won't stop raising this voice until we all understand the importance of it. After declaring, they call it a newly independent state. Status based on the immunity. Under customary international law, a starting head of state, president or monarch or prime minister, generally enjoys a personal immunity from the crime jurisdiction of a foreign state. The immunity is absolutely why they are in office, even for acts of community, before they took power. Now the Nnamdi Kanu is inside. Before has he took power, the answer is no. But we have to start calling him that name, so the world will know what we are doing. Nnamdi Kanu, only one person is only the person who answered here that Nnamdi Kanu deserved to be a president. Only Ogonaya. What happened to you? So in your mind, or in the comment section, Nnamdi Kanu does not want being a president. So you are telling us that Nnamdi Kanu does not want being a president of the United States of Biafra. Is why you stop commenting. The truth, they hide the truth from us. The truth is bitter. The truth is pure, but it's very, very bitter. These are the truth. These are the figures. These are things that they hide from us. Freedom. Recognition speaks English. It doesn't speak Igbo language. The world, the UN, the white people doesn't understand what is Onyendu until you come and address it, explain it to them. Instead of you wasting time to addressing, explaining Onyendu, call him your president of the University of Biafra. Everyone has his position. Master Manekpa, the prime minister, the chief of staff, acting DPM, current right now. These are the qualities that the world look at. When a figure like that has a problem, the attention always drawn to what is happening. What are you still waiting? What are you still waiting? We must continue. We must what? Continue. A political bargain. The custodial state happened to be Nigeria. Is then facing with a choice either to validate the new country, to give us a recognition, or as a sovereign state by releasing its head, happen to be Nnamdi Kanu, our president. A head or maintaining the arrest and the risk international condemnation, interfering with the head of a sovereign state that was newly declared. I don't know whether you are getting it right. I don't know whether you are understanding this document. Is here for us. I said what is here for us. Leveraging the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence of a new country provides the necessary political contents to legitimize the name, title, change. When we have declared it, now that we have declared Biafra as a country, that it is legitimized for us to change the title of Nnamdi Kanu, calling him Onyendu, that the world did not understand, and calling him our president is the best one. That is what this place is telling us to do. If you are refusing to call Nnamdi Kanu the president, are you the one? Am I the one? No, he is the one. Yes, Divine precious. All this one has been switched under carpet. But if you follow me since past 3 months, I am bringing all of them out. It's a matter of share the program, like the program. Even on my S handle, Biafra TV, I am also tweeting every day about all this. When you retweet my post, when you do all those things, it's not by me. I am not the one that doing it. Ichuku Okabiyama decide to use me at a time like this. So when you come, you ignore the message. You are ignoring the message from Ichuku Okabiyama, not me. If you come to my page, you will not like, you will not share, you don't subscribe. You're on your own. But the truth remains that I have sent the message out. So when I go to bed, I can sleep. Because ndị Bible n'okwu Igbo sị na na-ekwu ekwu mere ọnụ. Ndị Bible sị na afọ ekwughị gburu ụmụazị mana ekwu anụghị. Afọ ekwughị gburu okenye mana ekwu anụghị gburu ụmụazị. I am washing my hand. I am doing my part by trying and to research and bringing all these things. We have found out there is a 4th Geneva Convention who support us as a new country. We have UN Charter. We have Montevideo Convention. We have Geneva Convention. We have Vinland Convention. I hope you understand it. I hope you are understanding it. Montevideo Convention in the year 1933. Geneva Convention in the year 1949. Vienna Convention in the year 1978. UN Charter almost everywhere. These are laws that they swept under carpet that we may not know them. Mana ndị be anyị si na mgbo nyeji tetu ụra nọ mgbe anwa bụ ụtụtụ ya. Now we know what's stopping you from liking, subscribing, and sharing the program. What's stopping you from following me on my S handle? Be tweeting the way I'm doing it. Just retweet it, like it, do that. So it will be going viral. We are everywhere, time around. Trying to, after here, I will take my 1 hour, I will take my time to be tweeting it on my S handle. So you can also see it and also do that. How is one else to do it? My people. How? The truth must be told. The truth must be what? Told. We are not going to shy away anymore. We are digging the ground to bring out the truth they are hiding. Do we know that such a thing is on existence? This document I'm reading. I told you this is from UN Charter. There is place they call, other UN private, they call it a single treaty article. Type it on your phone. My own, I come with evidence on a black and white so you can see. You won't say I'm not from nothing. That is why I'm also playing the voice so you can hear. What Biafra is bringing is to rebuild the world again. Divine Petros, thank you, my sister. You are right. Thank you so much. Only Africa died in Biafra. In Biafra, Africa will raise again. This is pure truth. Our setback, our falling back to Nigeria is what collapsed Africa till today. Go and verify. Go and check. On international law, you may grant Nnamdi Kanu political amnesty. The new country found documents. The new country, our declaration has a found document. The new contract or constitution can include previous than amnesty or pardon all political acts by the founding leader, including the one for which the new president was arrested, including us, that our president Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is arrested. I hope we are getting common sense. And I hope that you are understanding this very well. I hope you are understanding it very well, because everything is a time we carry everything along, my people. That is the time we are into. That is the time. We are going to the real deal of today. We have done the analysis of what we have a little bit yesterday. In the morning. Now we are going into the main deal. A leader who was arrested before a declaration of independence for a new country. Which of the international laws supports the new country by calling their leader a president of a new country? Listen.
The legitimacy of the new country calling an arrested leader a president is supported by a confluence of principles in customary international law and state practice, rather than a single treaty article.
You hear that? It's not me. The legitimacy of the new country calling an arrested leader a president is supported by the what? By the customary international law and a state practice, rather than a single treaty article.
The key international law principles are: 1. Domestic constitutional freedom, sovereignty. The primary international law principle is the exclusive right of a state to organize its own government.
You hear it? Domestic constitution, freedom, sovereignty. The principle, international law. The primary international law principle is the executive or exclusive right of a state to organize its own government. Like what we are doing right now. Like now we have our own government led by our chief of staff, Dr. Ngozi Arabeze. And they said, in a direction of a new country, that a chief of staff, a figure like her made, is one of the superb in the world. After arresting their leaders, a chief of staff stood up and made a declaration of a new country that is a key figure in the eyes of international law. The same way the name president is a political tool to get Mazi Nnamdi Kanu recognition, to get Mazi Nnamdi Kanu freedom to be released.
Principle. International law follows the principle of state sovereignty, which includes the right of a state to choose its own constitutional structure, form of government, and head of state without interference from other nations. How it applies. The new country, through its Declaration of Independence and new governing documents, the new contract, asserts that its people have chosen this individual to be their president. International law, in most cases, does not concern itself with how the head of state attained power, whether by election, revolution, or appointment while in jail, as long as the new government exercises effective control over the territory, a key requirement of the Montevideo Convention. 2. The Montevideo Convention criteria, requirement of government. The Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, 1933, sets the basic criteria for statehood, which indirectly legitimizes the president. Requirement. Article 1 of the Convention states that a state must possess a permanent population, a defined territory, the capacity to enter into relations with other states, and a government. How it applies. The new country argues that the selection of the president fulfills the government criterion. The head of state is the individual who personifies the state and is deemed to represent it internationally. By naming the arrested leader as president, the new state is formally asserting that its government is organized and has an authorized representative, regardless of the physical location of that individual. 3. Head of state immunity, immunity ratione personae. The designation as president is the catalyst for invoking this powerful rule of customary international law. Principle. Personal immunity, immunity ratione personae, is a rule of customary international law that grants a sitting head of state absolute immunity from the criminal jurisdiction of foreign national courts. This immunity is for the office they hold, not for the acts they committed, and it covers both official and private acts committed before or during their term. How it applies. The moment the leader is legally designated president and the new state is recognized by other nations, the detaining country's domestic legal system is theoretically stripped of jurisdiction over him. His continued detention is then framed as a violation of international law and the sovereignty of the new country. The ability of the new state to successfully execute this legal maneuver hinges on achieving widespread international diplomatic recognition of both the new country and its new president. The legal principles concerning the authority of a newly declared state are complex, as shown in this video about international law states elements Montevideo Convention simplified.
I hope you followed and you listened. I know why I leave it like this, because of the doubting Thomas. That is why I leave it to play finished before I can start. And under this that we have played this, remember the number to call is +9 7 3 6 0 5 1 3 7. Again, +9 7 3 6 0 5 1 3 7. If you want to call, you are free to call to say your own opinion and what you think on one question I asked this evening. Did you think that Mazen account deserves to answer a president of United States of Biafra? You can call anytime you want. It's very, very important for you to do so. So now we are going to start officially. We are going to analyze this video till down. I am not going to play the video because I don't have laptop to play it. That's the reason why I won't play the video, but I'm going to do every analysis. Or you can also call to join the analysis also. You can call to analyze what you understand and how we can also use it now that we have officially declared Biafra as a new state. You had it here, a new state. That is how they call it. Who is that new state? It's you and I. That is why I am so proud to put my face in social media, because I have a government this time around. And it's our right to choose who will be our president. So if they ask you to choose if Mazen can be a president of the world, are you not going to choose him? Are you not going to vote for him? If you vote for him in everything to be a president, vote it on the comment section. Call him Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the president of United States of Biafra, or president of USBG. It's important. Sorry, Divine Precious, the country where I am, you don't pin number on a screen. On January, they give us law. Even you cannot pin number on a screen. You can only call it on mouth, or somebody else who has the number can write it on comment section. That is how the law of the country where I am it is. This is the new law they give us. The people that tried, I know about Trevor now who are inside. You will spend 1 year in prison. You will spend 1 year. The number is +9 7 3 6 0 5 1 3 7. Again, +9 7 3 6 0 5 1 3 7. Only on WhatsApp. You are free to call. The line is open because how we normally do it here, after 1 hour, we open phone call until we finish. So people can call and also participate into what we are doing. It is very important if you can call. Like I told you, you can also support the page. We are looking for gadgets, laptop. I cannot afford it right now, depending on country where I am and how it is. That is all I can say for now. If you want to support the platform, you can call. I thank those who have been supporting. I thank those who have been supporting to this stage of this platform right now. And also thank those who have been supporting also on the laptop. It's only that the money is not yet complete. Once it is complete, we will come. This program we are doing has a video. And if there is a video now, I would have played the video. You can also from that video and learn how a new country is being moving and how a leader who was handcuffed is being to release. That is what we have to do. So I don't have all it takes to get the laptop right now. Yes, we have our first caller. We have our first caller. Hello, good evening, my sister. You're welcome.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
You're welcome.
Good evening, sir. God will bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank God that we have gathered again to learn and to apply. What you're saying is yes, Nnamdi Kanu deserve everything humanly possible to be our president. In fact, it's not really that he deserves, he is our president. We do not have any other president except him. Samuel Ekpa is our prime minister. Then our COS is our deputy prime minister. Nnamdi Kanu is our president. Like what you are saying, if we can change this name, it is the name of honor. Because there is an immunity that covers that name, that go alongside with that name.
Yeah.
Knowing fully well that, yes, we are now a country and we should act as one. We should act as one. Although something that you just entered newly, you might not really get accustomed with what is revolving in it, but as you are teaching us and we are putting it into practice, before you know it, it will become part of us.
Exactly.
And one thing I want to advise is this: the people in the first front that are pushing this, they should also be aware and make use of this name, because we are following international law. And we must do everything that international law deserves us to do, because other countries have done it and they get results. So we will not be exempted. Now it is people in the media, people in the first front should push this name, should push this name. It is when they now start pushing the name, then the listeners will now be able to follow their footsteps. Because our Biafra government media, they have so many people speaking on behalf of Biafra government. They should start pushing this name. And also the legal team, the Nnamdi Kanu legal team and Samuel Ekpa legal team. I know the cabinet member and Dr. Ngozo Rabeze, they are in charge. They are fully in charge. Our president, Nnamdi Kanu legal team, I don't know how related they are to the government. I don't know if they actually know that yes, Biafra has been declared, because there are some things that are happening around which is not supposed to. They feel intimidated, they feel overwhelmed. I know we are all human beings. You are expecting something to happen. But being people that are in a legal ground, they understand the do's and don'ts, the pros and cons. They should know that, yes, coming to the court will not actually release our president, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They should leverage on these benefits. And they should also come closer to our government. Let them work as synergy. And also, Biafra should let their voices towards legal team. Anybody, that is, attach them. Attach them in every sensitive program like this that we are doing, so that they will know what Biafra are speaking. Because Nnamdi Kanu is not the only person in prison. We are all in prison with him, including the legal team. And also, they should have confidence, knowing fully well that they are not alone, that God is with them. Whatever the Nigerian president throw into them, they should absorb it and find a way out. When I'm looking at them, whenever the case after the case, they will feel so down. Even when they are speaking, they will speak as if there is no hope. But here is the hope. I don't know how they are going about it. Here is the hope. They should come closer to our government and will work and synergize. That is when they will be able to sharpen and enlighten on what to do. This is my contribution. And also our Deputy Prime Minister, like as you said, I want him to be using this name whenever he's addressing us during fundraising. He should start pushing this name. Because when he starts pushing it, every one of us will be accustomed to it. And we will find out that before it will not be a long, everybody will be adjusted to that name. And God will do what he wants to do for us. So that is my own contribution.
My
Thank you,
sister,
sir.
thank you so much. In fact, your contribution is very awesome. It's a wonderful one. There is one thing I want you to know. Those who are represented by Kanu in Nigeria courts, they did not believe in Biafra has been declared. That is one thing.
That is it.
I must tell you the truth. Because if they all had believed that Biafra has been declared, there is kind of word you will be hearing from their mouth. They all are afraid of mentioning that name that Biafra has been declared. And because of Nigeria,
they are doing something.
yes. And if in their action or in their body language, they have believed that Biafra has been declared, believe you me, there is kind of words that we'll be hearing from
confidence. Yes,
you
there
will
is
see
kind
that
of confidence that they
you
will
will
have.
see that resilience in them, you will see that strength. They will also be on their S handle, tweeting for recognition of United States of Biafra. They are all one Nigeria, and the one Nigeria is disappointing them seriously. In this conquest,
there is a question I want to ask.
Yeah.
There is a question I want to ask. Do they believe in the agenda of Nnamdi Kanu?
No.
Because
for me, I
if
would
they
say no.
believe in that agenda,
yes, go on.
then is that all about community way by end of you, Morgan? Or they believe in secret, they don't want to come out openly. This is the time for them to come out openly. Do you know? I know one thing that one of the legal personnel said when after the court. I don't know his name. That one, right, baby. I don't know.
Maxwell.
He is the person that I always know that speak with confidence. Anytime you see that man speaking, that man speak with confidence. There is something he said. I say, yes, this is, you people are starting. Before, you people are afraid. He said, since they refuse to release our president, which is Nnamdi Kanu, and they should bear in mind that this is no longer a fight between Nigerian government and Nnamdi Kanu, but is a fight between Biafra and Nigeria.
Yeah.
If they want to take it down, that they are ready for it. And you see how he spoke with confidence. This is how I want all the legal things, because they are being intimidated, and Nigeria know very well, and they are using that weakness to intimidate them.
Exactly.
They are using that weakness to intimidate them. It has gone to a long distance that even people that were not believing in Biafra before, they are now believing. So what stops the legal counsel of standing from where the person that they are defending stood? So they should ask themselves, what do they want? Do they want to release the clients, or do they want to be playing hanky-panky?
No, they want to use him and be winning cases in Nigeria and see them as a very tough legal counsel who is an of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu.
It,
They just want to use
it
the
will
make
not
name.
work.
It will not work.
It will not work because Nigeria have already known who they are and know where they stand. Even if they try to cover up or whatever, Nigeria has already known them, and that is the stand of Nigeria. So it is that time they come out boldly and stand with what they believe or what their clients, which is our president, believe. That is when you will see them. They will now be bold like lions. Because I happen to watch them even in the court when our president Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is being speaking, is a lion. You will see some of the legal counsel will feel a kind of, they are feeling it should not over. No, they are the one that's supposed to speak on his behalf. They are the ones that's supposed to stand on his behalf. If they believe on what the legacy that Nnamdi Kanu believes, if they believe in it and they can beat their chest that where their clients stand, that is where they stand. You will see them, they will be speaking like a lion. But now they are still afraid. They are still afraid. Of which they should kill all the fear and stand on what they believe on.
The only thing I want my fellow believers to know, my own is I'm from a different planet, talking about my own. No, at level where Mazi Kanu it is, and Biafra has been declared, no court of Nigeria will set him free. No, none of the freedom fighters like Nelson Mandela, like Junior Martin Luther King, like Maghandi of India, like Rahim Ibrahimman of Bangladesh, like Jomo Kenyatta of Kenya. This is the 5 that fight for their country, which I have read about them. When they was arrested, no call to release them. What release them is their declaration. Why the Kenya own linger for 10 years before they release him is because Kenya, those who are then, there was fallback. Before another group raise up and make a declaration. After the declaration, they seek for international recognition. Once they gather only to recognition, they get their own first recognition from Nigeria. They get another recognition from Australia. After these 2 recognition, their leader was released and he came back, become the first prime minister. Within the other year, he became the first president. None of these 5 I have counted to you. Court did not free them. So in that shenanigan of what they're doing in the court is just for eyewitness. My sister, despite that, it's only you and I pushing towards the government recognition is what will set Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out. Nothing more than that. Nigeria want to convict Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Check very well. If Nigeria want to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Nigeria was regretting their mistake, letting him to go when they release him. Do you think that what makes Nigeria to went to Kenya, break all the international laws to kidnap him, there is anything that the law will do or the lawyers will do for him to be released? We should not deceive ourselves. I never believe in that thing that the lawyers are doing. This is my own pure mind, what I'm telling this evening. After all I have made inquiry, all I have searched, I now come to believe is the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from incarceration is in the hands of United States of Biafra. How they present him. If they can present him as a president, if they can present him that his situation is worse more than every other person. Check from 2015 to 2025. Is it how many years? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what is his age this time around? That is his last birthday was around 58 or 59. I stand to be corrected. Now, even if you remove this, what I am telling you right now, you now ask yourself, who is that freedom fighter who their leader was just released like that? Nobody, nowhere in the world. All of them passed through hell before they release them. Their release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the hands of you and the I. Number 1, we have learned that that international law says that we have to address him as the president in front of the world. We have to put his name, number 1. Then the negotiation of our government under every other countries using him as a name, using our documents all the document we have is what we trigger. Once we have recognition of two countries, we are done. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will release. Listen, Rahiman of Bangladesh was released after India organized them. Then India forced Pakistan to recognize Bangladesh as a country. After that, he released from the prison from Pakistan, sent him to Britain. After Britain, he landed at India, New Delhi. That's where he landed. From there, the India escort him back to where? To Bangladesh. He become their first president. This is how it's happening. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has passed that age where with that time where we think that the lawyers can bring him out. No. Could you think on your own the law Nigeria broke to go and kidnap him? He cannot get any freedom except the freedom is in the hands of you and I. This is only one way out of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. This is the pure truth. That is very bitter, I am telling you. And this thing I'm telling you is hidden under international law. That only our recognition from a newly country will release him out. Nothing more than that.
Okay. That means we will intensify in our efforts.
That is where I'm going. We must intensify in our efforts.
Let the legal team be doing their own.
Yes.
We should intensify in our efforts. That is why every platform should comply with these directives that you are bringing out to us. Because they say media is power.
Every
platform
is
comply.
That's what it is.
Because once media take over this new dimension that we are bringing to us, there will be a total change, even in the world and in everything around him. Then the lawsuit that they are taking and everything, the name and everything should change. To change from the normal name to President and Prime Minister. So that when they see it, they will know. They will know that yes, it is a new name that has been given to them and that they merited it.
Exactly.
That is what we should start doing. That means everybody should work towards the modality. I wish that the people that are listening to this thing can take the advice and do the needful. Because the earlier we start, the better.
Yes. That's for me these days, I will be using this as my jingle whenever I come into my platform. So it can be brought into our mind day in, so it can be, because it's like a lesson. We have to learn this lesson by fire by force.
Yes.
All this, there is one of our sisters who said on comment section, why did all the truth about this world, about a new country, was swept under the carpet? And I told her,
because they never wanted you. As far as you are in Africa, they never wanted you.
We don't have time to research.
They want you.
That is it.
They want to continue to milk you and milk your resources.
Exactly.
That is why anything that we help Africa to see the light, they would rather not to let it happen. But God is bigger than them.
That is why they don't want Biafra to happen. Because, like I said, Africa died in Biafra in 1967 to 1970. Now it's time for Africa to live alive again. Now that Biafra is back, it's only when Africa will be back. The Africa we are talking about.
And this is the thing. Yes, Bible made us to know that the people of Issachar understand their time and their season.
Yeah.
And sir, I want to start to tell you that this is the time of Africa, and also this is the time of Biafra. If we fail at this time, I'm not sure we will ever get it again, or maybe not our own generation. Not our own generation, because all the strategies and everything that is coming up and the way everything is going, the people that we are fighting with, they are not deaf, neither are they blind. They are putting everything into place to make sure that they still keep you there. And now you still have the little time to breathe, and you did not liberate yourself out of it. When they have understood your strategies and everything that you are putting on, and you fail, I'm not sure they will close every door. They will close every
That's
door.
why I told you, if
So,
Biafra did not come on this our era, it will never come again. And if we
yes,
did not stand on this mandate and see recognition, we are all doomed. That is where we are.
yes,
Hey.
yes. Because what they are now doing now is to use you to destroy yourself.
Yes, now.
This is the strategy they bring. And the people that, which is your own, that they are using, they are so foolish enough for them to use them. And maybe they have promised them heaven and earth, which to me, it will never get to them. But what they want is to use them to get that which they want from you. So it is better, it is hard time for every one of us to stand on this mandate, to make sure that we secure and seal this mandate. Because if we fail, sorry for us.
Honestly.
Sorry for our generation. Both the ones that are and the ones that are yet to come. So we will intensify in our efforts, and also the medias that are pushing this narrative, this truth should also intensify. God will strengthen you people, and God will make your voices to go even beyond, even to the grave, that it wake up the dead, so that everyone, even the one that have itching ears, the one that the ears block, now these words will open our ears and open our eyes, so that we get this which God has given into our hands, so it will not sleep. Because if it sleeps, sorry for us.
I'm telling you.
The people we are fighting with, they are devil. In fact, devil is better than them.
Yes, because devil have a change mind sometimes. That is why when you come to Christ told him, go away. Later he walked away. But these people, devil is better than those that we are fighting against. So the only thing that happens here is that our people never really understand what we are into, and they never know that the game has changed. If they know that the game has changed, we will change. It's not all about sometimes talking in our own. We must implement some certain things into what we are doing as Christians. How do the other country get their own? Why is their own so different? Then you may know who you are and why you are different from what others do. That's why Master Kanu told us that we will do anything humanly possible to make sure that Biafra come to become an existent country in the world. People did not understand that word. It's so deep.
Yeah.
It's so deep.
Yes. Because Bible says faith without work is dead. That means if you are praying and you are exercising your faith and you are not putting those faith into action, you will never get any result.
Like
so
all those,
as we are praying,
like all those IPOB 19, like all those fall back them. there is no faith. If there is faith, but there is no
faith.
In fact, they are faithless, and there is no work.
You know, those people never believe that we will get to the stage which we are today. They never believed it. And that was why they sold their destiny, their pot of porridge in a cheap
sold their heart to black demon.
Yeah. They never believed it. Even as we are in the stage which we are, which is government, it's still like a mirage in their eyes.
That is how you.
It's still like a mirage in their eyes. They never believed it. They never believed it. But it has happened in their eyes, and there is nothing they can do about it. Our government has come to stay. It has come to stay. We will be getting better each day. And the awareness will continue to spread in the name of Jesus. And so shall it be.
Amen.
God will continue to strengthen you people. And more knowledge, more wisdom, God will continue to endow upon all the medias and our deputy prime minister and our president, which is Nnamdi Kanu. God will protect him. Our prime minister, which is Samuel Ekpa, God will vindicate each and every one of them and protect them. No evil will happen to them in Jesus' mighty name. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Amen. I appreciate you. Wonderful submission. You are one of the person who their voice has sold on this platform. Thank you for coming in. Thank you so much, please. Thank you so much. Thank you. We must continue. Thank you. Yeah. So my people, this is how we do it here. When call comes in, we pause it and we answer call our people, because every voice is very important into what we are doing right now. We don't need only one voice to do this, what we are doing. Every voice, including your voice. Do not take your voice away. We need that your voice to help us to achieve what we are doing. So we have a sister that we have to put a call to. We have to do that, because these are people that their voice, they always stand on the truth, and they continuously want this truth. When they put their voice, you may know who they are. Yes, Ijele Wine, good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, my good brother.
Good evening. You're welcome to the program.
I salute every Biafran. Good evening from my own end, and good afternoon, good morning from your side. Good evening.
Good evening, my sister.
Hello, my brother.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm so I just wanted you to ring me because I'm going to get finish.
Okay.
So yeah, I just came in now, and you know how I do it. I just want to start from the beginning to know what the topic is all about. And I heard something that made me to put this on now about making Mazi Nnamdi Kanu the president. I think it's quite a very good idea to me. To me, it's quite a very good idea. And I want to use this platform now and this opportunity. If our governments are listening to us, I think it's a good thing to conduct election or conduct voting anyhow. Let us vote our Onyendu as the president of USB.
Yes, exactly. Even they said without voting, that it can be made a declaration. The only thing you needed on international law is start using that. They call it changing his status from a common criminal to a president of a country.
I know why I said let us put a vote to that, because on a normal circumstances, if you want to do it like that, we have to get his consent. But being something the Biafrans decided, voted on, is more powerful. Like, I don't know if you get me.
You know, let me put a little light under what that law is. He said that making him a president without his conscience means that the masses, the majority, choose him to become their president. That is what this law said. This thing is under United Nations Charter. Under United Nations Charter,
yeah, so we can do that without his consent.
Yes.
Okay.
That his people want him. That he's a choice of his people.
Yes. Yeah, it's also good to put it on a vote, which I know everybody will do that. Everybody will vote yes. Almost. Otesi with over 50 million people. If we put that vote, them very massive. And it will be a very good honor. And again, looking at what international law said about it, it is something to be welcomed. It's something to put a consideration on. Honestly, Mazichino, I just went back to I just shift all this thing back to listen to from the beginning. When I know this thing, you see, honestly, this is a very good one. It's a very good suggestion, which I'm using this medium, please. Our DPM, Dr. Ngozi Orabieze, please, my dear sister, thank you so much for the good work you and your cabinet have been doing. But this particular topic we are discussing here today, please, if you can look into it, it's actually a very good one to bring on board. It's a very good one to bring on board.
And it's very easy for her to search and get on the ones they type UN Charter. Just a type on the area they call International Community Single Act Treaty of a Sovereign State President. How to change his name. Once you type it will appear.
Okay, now but that brings me to another question. Now that we have PM, are we how is it going? Is it not going to
No. A country has 3 names. All the 3 things they use. They said that a country will have a president, have a prime minister. Finland has a president, have a prime minister. It does not jeopardize any of the authority.
Presently.
Yes. Finland has a prime minister. They have a president right now. This is how we rule. So our own is not. That's why I said our own is we must rethink the way other countries put their own. See, Obato Obieke is a smart man. When it comes to this freedom, he's a very smart man. You see the name he used. That name, president, they said once a newly country is being declared, that they are titled to change the name of the person they call a leader. Because when we call Mazen Nnamdi Kanu Onyendu, address him as Onyendu, not international army as Onyendu. They don't know what is called Onyendu. What they know is once you mention a president, prime minister, chief of staff. This is what the world knows about, nothing more than that. So that is why the level with, and they said this name will trigger international pity on the president who was arrested.
It's like Mazi Simon Ekpa have said something like this, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the president. I think don't anyone broke that or something like that. I can't.
Yes,
I don't know.
Not only he has said it, and that is why he left that name there. He refused to touch it. Listen, I want to read something out from you. Changing an arrested leader status to a president of a newly country declared can be a powerful political and legal tool to secure his release. Primarily by invoking the principle of state immunity under international law. Now, what is he saying? Now, I remember that the Kanu to Nigeria be a common criminal. He's a terrorist. He's that once we the Biafra people invoke the principle of international law, the immunity, that calling him a president of a new country. No, they said these strategies will shift the legal basis of detention from a diplomat from a domestic criminal matter to a diplomatic and international law between a state to a state. This is where we are. And this is where we have to make a change.
Absolutely. Honestly, I hope our government, USB government, I hope they are listening. Anybody that can pass this message urgently to them, let us consider if we can do it by appointing or by electing. Anyhow, we really need to consider this since it's coming from international law.
Listen, let me chip something in again. Look at what the government will argue. Our government will argue. The argument for release. The new country government would immediately notify the custodial state, which is Nigeria, and the international community, e.g., the United Nations, that they detain,
that they are holding the
that they're
president.
holding a head of a state, that they are holding a head of state, and the head of state was illegally kidnapped for over 5 years.
Ma'am,
Right now,
ma'am,
this is
we
argument.
call it the way it is. They are presently holding the head, the president of ULB.
Otu onsi wee gwara ka esi wee dị ebe ahụ ọgbọkwa m ụdịrị the kemgbe na-play the voice maka ndị osu ime na ndị isi ekwe ọnwụ ka ha mara reason why o ji wee bụrụ na ihe dị very important. When
I hope this message has been passed. I know our DPM will get this message urgent, and I know that she will do something about it.
That is
Thank
why
you so
also
much,
I asked Biafrans to join on my tweet, because I have already tweeted all these things before I start making this program this evening. Just to retweet on my S handle. Just the same read Biafra TV, the way it is here is where it is. What about me? I like keeping my things plain. That is what about me.
Did you pass? Can you post record to your court?
I caught from your pieces. Make you we get post here. And we been to see after one article on court where you post to after one article tweet like that. So I take my time to tweet it every blessed day. The whole thing here right now. I have tweeted almost half of it from morning till now. So let's all join hands, because by tweeting and the target of Tongozo Arabeze, it may draw her attention. So she can also read, because
Twitter handle, you get your Twitter handle.
Read Biafra TV.
Okay, the same. Okay,
the same, nothing changed. The same name as my S handle. The same name. Change the name, change.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will do that. Please, I urge every genuine Biafra to do that. We will do everything possible.
Humanly possible.
Exactly.
To mention now, we have made a declaration. Our push and our pressure under every government, under countries, under UN is what is going to trigger our recognition very fast. That is why we must continue using our voice. Everyone continue bringing all these their law, exposing it openly, and making it to go viral. So they will know.
Exactly. Because now Finland said we should go legal. We are doing it. We are doing it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I have to run back.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. We must continue. We continue here. We continue. Thank you so much. Yes, you can have it from her. We have to do something more than what we have been doing. We have to do more than the way that we are doing things. That is what will serve us this time around. That's what will serve us. The legitimacy of the new country, calling an arrested leader president. Look at this word. The legitimacy of the new country, calling an arrested leader a president, is supported by principle of customary international law and the state participants, rather than a single treaty article. The key international law principles are domestic constitution, freedom, sovereignty under United Nations Charter. The primary international law principle is the executive right of a state to organize its own government. It is the right of Biafran people to vote or to start calling Nnamdi Kanu the president of United States of Biafra. It is our right as a new country. It is our right even also to vote. Either way we choose to do it. But that name must be there for him. He changed his status from charging him terrorism, charging him from everything that the government are charging our leader today, our president. For me, I don't wait. After I read this, I start calling him yesterday my president. That's who he is. Is it you? Are you the one that are going to bear that name? The name left for him. For him to say, be told us that if Mazen can come and say he don't want president, that if he wants, that he can campaign for it. Remember, he made such a broadcast That is why Batoobie knows that immediately Biafra declared, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name will change and start answering Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the president of United States of Biafra. His Excellency, the president of the United States of Biafra government. That's who he is. It's not by power. It is by merriment. It is by what he has achieved. It is by his sufferness. He deserves it. Let me tell you one thing. When I contest councillor under P2B, you know what happened? I won. They told me no, that I'm not going to be there. That there's somebody who has been there before me, that he's the one that's going. That after they will know what to do for me. That is when I know that Nigeria is not a country really, and I run away from Nigeria is not a country. From then I understand it very well, clearly. My people, what are you waiting for? Let's continue.
The legitimacy of the new country calling an arrested leader a president is supported by a confluence of principles in customary international law and state practice, rather than a single treaty article. The key international law principles are: 1. Domestic constitutional freedom, sovereignty. The primary international law principle is the exclusive right of a state to organize its own government. Principle: international law follows the principle of state sovereignty, which includes the right of a state to choose its own constitutional structure, form of government, and head of state without interference from other nations.
It's our rights. No nature will interfere when we call Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a president. Are you hearing it here? The principle of international law follows the principle of a state sovereignty. International law, why are you calling him a president? Why do you even? No, they will not. They said the principle of international law follows the principle of a state, of a sovereign state. Now that we have declared it, now we have become a country in the eyes of the international law. This law made us a state, officially. Now we are there. What are we waiting for? Which including the right of the state to choose its own constitution structure from form of a government and the head of a state without interfering from other nations. Despite what it is, no nation will interfere into our choosing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as our president. Nobody will do that. Nobody will interfere. Because we have become a sovereign state. If you live, they told you it's a newly declared country. You must continue.
How it applies. The new country, through its Declaration of Independence and new governing documents, the new contract, asserts that its people have chosen this individual to be their president. International law, in most cases, does not concern itself with how the head of state attained power, whether by election, revolution, or appointment while in jail, as long as the new government exercises effective control over the territory, a key requirement of the Montevideo Convention.
I hope you had where they clarify what our sister just said right now. The new country, through its declaration of independence and the new government document, the new contract, assisting that its people have choice to choose this individual to be their president. International law, in most cases, does not concern itself with how the head of state attached power, whether by election, whether by appointee, why he is in jail, or any way it is. So far, we, the Biafran people, has accepted all of us on the social media. When you are tweeting, when you are writing in the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as the president of United States of Biafra. It is our inalienable right to do that. Nobody can do it for us. Nobody will call him a president except we, you and I. Is the one to do it. Whether he's in jail, whether whether he was appointed, whether he was elected, whether by electing, whether by anyhow we do it, whether by revolution, What is important is that his name bears the United States President or President of United States of Biafra. That is what matters most. And they told you here what? As long as the new government exercise effective control over the territory, a key requirement of Montevideo Convention 1933. Number 2.
2. The Montevideo Convention criteria, requirement of government. The Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, 1933, sets the basic criteria for statehood, which indirectly legitimizes the president.
Do you hear it? He sets the criteria of a new country. The Biafran people, we have overmet those criteria they are mentioning here. It's only 4 criteria. What are these criteria? Number 1, a permanent population of Biafran people living in their homeland. People from the whole land are calling on this program also. A divine territory where our people are calling from. Are you following? Effective government that is working. A government who can enter into agreement with other nations and sign contracts, sign treaties, sign the laws of peacekeeping, of be a good country that don't want violence. These are what they're asking us to do. Have we never met all these criteria, my people? Let us go.
Requirement. Article 1 of the Convention states that a state must possess a permanent population, a defined territory, the capacity to enter into relations with other states, and a government. How it applies. The new country argues that the selection of the president fulfills the government criterion. The head of state is the individual who personifies the state and is deemed to represent it internationally. By naming the arrested leader as president, the new state is formally asserting that its government is organized and has an authorized representative, regardless of the physical location of that individual. 3.
I hope you understand this area. The new country argues that the selection of the president fulfill the government criteria. The head of state is the individual who personifies the state and is demand to represent it international. By naming the arrested leader as president, the new state is formally asserted that it is a government that is well organized and has the authority, representative, regardless of the physical location of the individual. Regardless of the physical location. Right now, our location in Biafra land, Nigeria occupies our territory. Despite that, they said it does not stop us from calling Nnamdi Kanu our president, whether by selection, whether by election, whether by appointment, whether in how we do it. That we have to give him that accolade. Is his name. They said it changes his status of the way that he was been tweeting in the past, of the way that he was been addressing in the past. These are the one thing that we have never really find out and we shy away from it. Now is here. You who is on comment section, start from you first. Calling Nnamdi Kanu your president. Call him the president of United States of Biafra. Was kidnapped from Kenya for over 5 years and keep in custody of DOS in Nigeria, DSS in Nigeria. Number 3.
Head of state immunity, immunity ration personae. The designation as president is the catalyst for invoking this powerful rule of customary international law.
Invoke the powerful rule of customary international courts is where we are this evening, bringing you the truth, the hiding truth, the sweep under carpets. Remember, The line is still open. Anytime you have something to call on the program and submit your own humble suggestion. It is a rule of customary international law that grants a certain head of state absolutely immunity from the criminal jurisdiction of foreign international courts. This immunity is from the office they hold, not for the acting the community, and they cover both official and the private acts committed before. Na mgbe anyị kpọbara ya gọọmenti, mgbe anyị kpọbara ya a president of the state of Biafra, na ọ kọvaala afọ ochie niile Nigeria na-ata agị ya. O jikwa abụrụ terrorist, o jikwa abụrụ a common criminal, o jikwa abụrụ rebel, o jikwa na sponsor group, o jikwa na-eme incite violence. This is what, when we are calling him a president, the name trashes all this name under international customary courts, customary law. That is why it's very important. It is very rare that we implement it without wasting time.
Principle: personal immunity, immunity ratione personae, is a rule of customary international law that grants a sitting head of state absolute immunity from the criminal jurisdiction of foreign national courts. This immunity is for the office they hold, not for the acts they committed, and it covers both official and private acts committed before or during their term. How it applies: the moment the leader is legally designated president and the new state is recognized by other nations, the detaining country's domestic legal system is theoretically stripped of jurisdiction over him. His continued detention is then framed as a violation of international law and the sovereignty of the new country. The ability of the new state to successfully execute this legal maneuver hinges on achieving widespread international diplomatic recognition of both the new country and its new president. The legal principles concerning the authority of a newly declared state are complex, as shown in this video about international law states elements Montevideo Convention simplified.
Thank you, my people. I hope you had it clearly. Why we have to call Nnamdi Kanu the president of United States of Biafra. You have had it clearly. We have done the analysis here to you. I see my senior comrade Triple M. Good evening from here. Remember that our line is still open in case anybody wish to call. In case you wish to call, remember that number to call still remain +97 33 60 51 337. That is number to call only on WhatsApp strictly. If you wish to call this number, call only on WhatsApp, please. The video they want us to play, I cannot play because of I don't have laptop to play the video for now. Until we get that, you could have seen it clearly. Those who gathered and made this Montevideo Convention, and based on what we are seeing, how a new country is being governed and how you can do anything once you're a new country to make that you secure your territory and become a government, a sovereign state of your own. Nobody will interfere. The ability of the new state to successfully execute the legal maneuver hinges on achievement with rapid international diplomatic recognition of both the new country and its new president. They said, even the Nnamdi Kanu is in prison, you don't need to consult him. It's a name to release him from the prison. You had it from the beginning till now. I will allow it to play without saying a word. So you hear the English. It's very common English. You had it very well. I will start from the way we start from the program, allow it to play. But if it is playing, there is something that you understand that you want to say, please call on the line and say it. Feel free. Do not panic. Listen as I refresh from the beginning, because we have finished what we have to do this evening, only to explain more and receive our people's call. That is where we are for now. Remember, changing arresting leader status to a president of a new country, the benefits.
Changing an arrested leader's status to the president of a new country can be a powerful political and legal tool to secure his release, primarily by invoking the principle of state immunity under international law. This strategy shifts the legal basis of his detention from a domestic criminal matter to a diplomatic and international law issue between states. 1. The power of head of state immunity. The most significant legal advantage gained by making the arrested leader president is the potential claim of head of state immunity. Status-based immunity. Under customary international law, a sitting head of state, president, monarch, etc., generally enjoys personal immunity from the criminal jurisdiction of foreign states. This immunity is absolute while they are in office, even for acts committed before they took power. The argument for release. The new country's government would immediately notify the custodial state and the international community, e.g., the United Nations, that the detainee is now their head of state. They would argue that to continue holding the president is a direct violation of the sovereignty of the newly independent state and a breach of international law regarding state immunity. A political bargaining chip. The custodial state is then faced with a choice: either validate the new country's sovereignty by releasing its head, or maintain the arrest and risk international condemnation for interfering with the head of a sovereign state. 2. Leveraging the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence provides the necessary political context to legitimize the name/title change. Political amnesty. The new country's founding documents, the new contract or constitution, can include provisions that amnesty or pardon all political acts by its founding leaders, including the one for which the new president was arrested. Once recognized, this domestic law is leveraged to demand his release. Self-determination. The new state's claim is rooted in the international principle of self-determination. The new president is presented as the legitimate choice of a newly free people. The continued detention of this figure is framed as an act of political repression against a new sovereign nation, rather than a simple criminal matter. The end of old jurisdiction. If the arrest was made by the former ruling power, the mother state, the Declaration of Independence immediately complicates the legal jurisdiction. The new state's government can argue that the domestic laws under which the president was arrested no longer apply in the new sovereign territory, and the original charges are now nullified as political acts against a foreign power. 3. Necessary international steps to secure release. Simply declaring the name change is not enough. The new country must actively seek international acceptance. 1. Seek recognition. The new government must immediately seek diplomatic recognition from key world powers and the UN. Widespread recognition of the new state and its head of state is the ultimate key to enforcing the immunity claim. 2. UN engagement. The new country must petition the UN Security Council or General Assembly to take up the matter. An international resolution or statement from the UN could put massive pressure on the custodial state to release the president for the sake of regional peace and stability. 3. Diplomatic trade. Negotiations will almost certainly be required. The new state and its allies may have to offer concessions, such as promising to drop retaliatory claims, respect certain security arrangements, or guarantee the rights of the minority populations in exchange for the president's unconditional release.
I hope you listened to our first section of the program today. I hope the English is very common, that I thought that all of us do understand it. Do you know the most important thing here? That our declaration destroy every allegation that Nigeria has put on Nnamdi Kanu. And now when we are the to use their name as Master Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of United States of Biafra, and also when we use the name of the Master Nnamdi Kanu as the President of United States of Biafra, all these shenanigans, terrorism cases has died. It is now automatically become that they are holding a leader, a president of a new declared country. You had it here. How else do you want again? For you who believe that Nigeria of Master Simon Ekpa, Master Nnamdi Kanu, our president, you are lying. They will not. Against all odds, Nigeria, because of kidnapping Master Nnamdi Kanu, breaking every international law to go and kidnap him. You think that tourism in Nigeria is going to be easy? It's only that way Maghandi was released. That way Juma Kenyatta of Kenya was released. That way Nelson Mandela was released. That way Rahman Ibrahim of Bangladesh was released. It's only the way that Master Nnamdi Kanu will be released. What is that thing? Declaration of a new country. and a workable government, who will argue that the president, that the person that was kidnapped or that was arrested as Simon Ekpa is a prime minister of a new state, which a Finland has document. We must address them in this way. Mazi Simon Ekpa said that in one of his programs, that name president remains Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that unless he come outside, he doesn't want to answer, that he will participate on the name of president by contesting in Biafra land. He said it openly, but for now, automatically, it's Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's shoulder, it's on his head. And they said that using such a name triggers a political pressure for Nigeria to release him because he is a president of a new country. How do you want it to do again? This is what we have to do. You may come across this platform and pass because you are not seeing videos, pictures of Ndebu and Ndebuma. You are not seeing pictures of Adade. I cannot do it. I like being plain. If you want to listen, listen. If you want to be here, fine. If you don't want, those who are here who share this, okay. The truth remains I have done my research and I present it out there. These are things that are hidden, that they hide from us. They sweep it up under carpet so we cannot see it. So we don't know what to do. That is why our government, those who can tag the government must tag them for them to listen to this particular program, for them to read this document on their own. It's out there. Just go to under United Nations Charter, international law community, when a leader was arrested, changing his status. How can we change his status? Once you type this under UN Charter, when everything it will appear. So you will read. You know, the government might be pursuing far things, but the smallest thing so that we can trigger it to happen. That is why you will allow them to be doing their own, do your own and tag them. So they also listen to it. So they will also listen and do the needful. They will not know everything. Even our lobby, our congressmen, what they are pursuing is up. All these things are what we have to implement. Start going on the comment section. Start calling us Nnamdi Kanu, the president of United States of Biafra. Start from there first. Start from you in the comment section. Start from there. This is, I see, I don't romance word. I say it the way it is. I don't romance word. I tell you truth. I don't care who you are. If you don't want to be here, do not. Even if you're giving me food, hold your food, but allow me to say the truth. That is why I'm still alive till today. I have passed through thick and things, but I'm still alive because of truth. I must stand on the truth at all times, no matter how bitter it is. And I like to say those things that are very bitter. I don't like to say things that are very sweet. Like me, I don't eat sweet things, I eat bitter things. But they will keep me alive. Let us go for the last session as I play it without interjecting.
The legitimacy of the new country calling an arrested leader a president is supported by a confluence of principles in customary international law and state practice, rather than a single treaty article. The key international law principles are: 1. Domestic constitutional freedom, sovereignty. The primary international law principle is the exclusive right of a state to organize its own government. Principle: international law follows the principle of state sovereignty, which includes the right of a state to choose its own constitutional structure, form of government, and head of state without interference from other nations. How it applies: the new country, through its Declaration of Independence and new governing documents, the new contract, asserts that its people have chosen this individual to be their president. International law, in most cases, does not concern itself with how the head of state attained power, whether by election, revolution, or appointment while in jail, as long as the new government exercises effective control over the territory, a key requirement of the Montevideo Convention. 2. The Montevideo Convention criteria, requirement of government. The Montevideo Convention on the Rights and Duties of States, 1933, sets the basic criteria for statehood, which indirectly legitimizes the president. Requirement. Article 1 of the Convention states that a state must possess a permanent population, a defined territory, the capacity to enter into relations with other states, and a government. How it applies. The new country argues that the selection of the president fulfills the government criterion. The head of state is the individual who personifies the state and is deemed to represent it internationally. By naming the arrested leader as president, the new state is formally asserting that its government is organized and has an authorized representative, regardless of the physical location of that individual. 3. Head of state immunity, immunity ratione personae. The designation as president is the catalyst for invoking this powerful rule of customary international law. Principle: personal immunity, immunity ratione personae, is a rule of customary international law that grants a sitting head of state absolute immunity from the criminal jurisdiction of foreign national courts. This immunity is for the office they hold, not for the acts they committed, and it covers both official and private acts committed before or during their term. How it applies: the moment the leader is legally designated president and the new state is recognized by other nations, the detaining country's domestic legal system is theoretically stripped of jurisdiction over him. His continued detention is then framed as a violation of international law and the sovereignty of the new country. The ability of the new state to successfully execute this legal maneuver hinges on achieving widespread international diplomatic recognition of both the new country and its new president. The legal principles concerning the authority of a newly declared state are complex, as shown in this video about international law states elements Montevideo Convention simplified.
I hope you listen carefully. I hope you listen carefully. There is things that are trigger something. There is things that make things to work. Only calling Nnamdi Kanu a president in a comment section can trigger something. When you are addressing the issue of Biafra, address him as the United States of, address him as the president of United States of Biafra. Address Mazi Simon Ekpa as the Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. Address Dongozo as the Chief of Staff and the Acting Deputy Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra. These are truths that maybe you may not like it, but this is, look at it here now. I am not the one saying. That is why I allow it to be read from their voice so you may understand it. We do not shy away from anyone we are not doing. That one will be hindering us back. That one will be drawing us back. That is why we don't be able to fall back. And I told you here that the declaration of a new state is number one thing that to use to secure the leader, the leader's release happened to be Nnamdi Kanu, the president of the State of Biafra, our declaration document. They said they used to argue that the person that was kidnapped in Kenya for over 5 years was a president of a new nation, a head of state. Oge Nnamdi Kanu the president right now. Oge Yazia. Oge Yewe. That is his honor. Not like you forget about Onyendu. That Onyendu expired. If we have known this, the Onyendu expired from the day we made a declaration. Even on our declaration, we don't need to write Onyendu or Hamadike. We need to write President of United States of Biafra, Bulie Yelo Afia. You don't know that Obatobie could have done this if he's here with us. Because he knows all these laws. The new president must be adopting to learn from the day she takes the position. This is the thing. Like I said, I cannot play the video because I don't have laptop to play it. That's why I ask you for support me so I can be able to get the laptop despite whatever happens. So you can be able to play the video. Unless you want to hear only the voice. But I wanted the video to play so you can see how this principle, how this criteria work to where Nnamdi Kanu is. Eh? They said even though he's in prison. Yes, Assassina, thank you so much. Free USB President Nnamdi Kanu. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Look at the common one you will do. Just type it on your own. You cannot. But one man has to be free. You cannot type it. Yes, this is it. Free hashtag free Prime Minister. Man Simon Ekpanjoko. That is all we need. Start learning how to endorse to all these things. This is what the law asks us to do. To do for them to be released. Or you don't want Mazakan to be released? Is it why you cannot call him a president? Or see, freedom adra Igbo, freedom na so Igbo. A new country go able to get you a side akwụkwọ ọbụrụ Igbo. Onye ndu bụ na ọsọ n'isi anyị nwa ihe mmiri ngọta ihe ọ bụ onye ndu n'okwu Igbo. But na international amaghị na-azụ onye ndu na ha amaghị na-azụ Hamadike 1 ha amaghị. Ihe ha ga-ama bụ president ka ha ga-ama very, very easily. That is what they will know. So why are you waiting? Why are you waiting? Why are you not calling him that name? This video, I can't play the video because I need, if I'm playing the other people will see.
In the Western Sahara case,
Sorry.
the territory requirement means that a state's territory to have sufficient consistency and not necessary
Sorry, we play. That's why I said we have many videos to play, but Gadget is holding us. So you can see how people did their own and how everything is working. Then you may know that with some certain things, we have delayed it enough. We have delayed many things enough. Yes, Onyendu is our mother tongue. That's why I said that only us will understand it. But when it comes to the international community, into UN, you don't have president now. Are you not going to start calling him that president before when you will first using the name before you can start writing it first. Before there. Is it not true? Onyen is our mother tongue, yes. When it's come to this movement, but when it's come to what concerns our recognition, our international community to know us, must be on English. Because no can and that is why when they cannot be able to understand my thick tongue English, I put a voice. This is fact and figure that you don't need to come and explain to you. Everything is in the black and white, but they hide it. Now we have decided to be open it. We are opening more and more and be going in. So that is why when you join us, I want you to know that if you join me, you will see the Orama picture. You will hear his voice. But if you want to take your own way, my senior comrade, the man is humble lion, on a damage their image, on age they are now about to as in a water. You don't care, Kai, one hour water, and our Chiamaka, also. If you go to they are doing, but for this place, this is only what I think I can do. This is what Chokokan asked me to do. So please bear with me. And my platform, I like to see me the way I am now. I like to be a plain human being. I'm not a more and Kanu. I like everything to be plain. Because you already plain, I did fed. But him and the I like another attention. No, I like here get direct, get trigger, hey, and I'm an edge. Or born in here, I'm not go. Here. That means you don't want Biafra. And even if you want Biafra, you don't know how to maintain the laws. Because it is a law, and now we're a country, the government has to maintain this country. We're also going to have them to maintain this law. That is the truth. Yes, Stephen, thank you so much for your comments. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. That is the comment we want to be using. Hashtag free USB president, Nnamdi Kanu. Hashtag free Simon Ekpanjoko, the Prime Minister. This is the comment that we need to be bubbling in. This is comment we need. Everything we must use everything humanly possible for us to get Biafra. This is part of it. One, to secure his release. One, that this name will trigger a recognition for us also. You don't know that. Why is he wasting time? my people? Why are you not being on the side that you may do something that will trigger international law to come in, to know that do you know why they told you in the searching of the world that Nnamdi Kanu was in 15th position from then till today? Do you know why? They see them. You do know in the whole, not Africa, in the world. Na hana abu na agba 15 into research. In the world. In the world. Go and type it and check. The highest researchers from 2015 till this date. Go and search. Even I find research in Chanaka. How so now Mahama na that particular thing. So also when you tag their name as the prime minister, as the president, those are attention of those who know them as a researcher. Oh, is it why they are no longer talking? This one was kidnapped, this one was arrested. You don't know who will come to help us. Go get Sime what on your money. Go get Sime and what on your money. That is why you have to do something good. Yes, Nnamdi, thank you so much. That is who we are now. That is who we are. Remember that our line is still open. As you have listened to all the things that I have explained or all the voice I have played, if you have more things to contribute, you are free to call, because it's also gingering everything that we're doing up. We only have more 30 minutes to be here. That is why I say if you want to call, you are free to call. To put your own words, your own submission. So the people will hear your voice as you also advise our government to adhere to this important message that is coming on this time that we're into. Please, we must continue, because everything that we are doing, anyone that remain, we are the one going to bear the blame by ourselves. For us to not to bear that blame, we must support, we must do anything that is in our power to make sure that our government stands strong, to make Nnamdi Kanu set free forever and ever. Only United States of Biafra can set Simon Ekpa, our prime minister, who was arrested, illegally sentenced by Finland. Our president, Nnamdi Kanu, who was kidnapped in Kenya for over 5 years, put in the dungeon of DSS in Nigeria, that colluded with Kenya. Today, Kenya have come out to say that they did something wrong. Only that word enough could allow Nigeria to let our president go, but they refused. Now that we have declared it, once we start using it and start using it and petition the world and put it inside our document, it's also going to trigger Nigeria words. They said Nigeria will enter sanction and ban because of they have trespassed according to the law. That is why you must share this program. And you have to share. Let others know that we are live and we are direct. Also join me on my S handle, Biafra TV. Retweet those things that we are reading here. Make it go viral. That is where we are. The Biafra people. Those who believe in the United States of Biafra. Let us come together and do something. Let us do the right things. Let us help our government to release all these people forever and ever. Recognition is what will stop all this problem that you see that we are facing in here today. What you are saying on social media, we also contributed on all this that we are doing today. What you has contributed into what we are doing is part of things that are very, very important into the game that we are playing right now. So when your leader was arrested, what are you doing? So you see it, why it is important for us to do that. In short, the arrested leader, newly titled, covered his prison call from domestic jail into international diplomatic crisis, calling him president. Who? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Calling over to the Prime Minister often and on in every platform you are writing. Do it there. In church, the arrested leader, newly titled, they call it title, covered his prison call from a domestic jail to into international diplomatic crisis, forcing Nigeria government to release a leader of a newly sovereign state, a head of state. What are we waiting for? Oh my God, sometimes I ask God, why do the world hide all these things? Why is all this why? Why did no other person who joined as Nnamdi Kanu when he's here to be doing when he was busy? Like now the government is busy. We all come outside to help the government to move forward, my people. Sometimes after studying all these things, why are we not here since all this while? Why now? But it's for a time like this, that is what I believe, that Chukwuka has a way of doing his own thing. It's for a time to put Sona power and those who think that they can control the men to know that they have nothing to offer Biafran people. For all his lies. After you have listened this and listened to Sona power, what came into your mind? The Archibald boy, the criminal, the devil of our own time. My people, do not be deceived. Do not panic. The government is doing their own. Are you doing your own? What are you doing to support the government? What is your own? What are you doing? Are you just being there, looking around? Are you just being there, doing nothing? Is it what you're doing? My people, I want us to know that the decision of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in the hands of our government. That's what it is. This is what they asked us to do. Yes, Margaret, I greet you. Thank you so much for the comment. This Anna Warner, all in Biafra. I want to thank everybody that have been here for past 2 hours. I want to thank you. So when you are going home, remember the name. Calling Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, President of United States of Biafra. It is very, very important and well respected under international law. That is why you have to do that. That is why you have to do it, my people. So please, my people, let us continue trying whatever we can do to make sure that this voice, that the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is almost bring Nigeria down, that will help to finish Nigeria. It is very important. So, my people, from here, we're going to call it good night. Thank you so much for being here once again. We might come early in the morning or we'll see at the same time tomorrow night. Thank you so much. Biafra has become an existing country. Nobody will quench this fire and nobody will send the Biafra back. We are not from the falling back that are danger. If we fall back without declaration, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remain what he is, the Nigerian when they're calling him. But our declaration remove those rubbish names, those lies, those propaganda names that tag on him. That is what people never knew. The level where we are, we have never come across it before in our life. That is why it's so difficult for many of us to adhere or to learn. Where we are right now, we have never got in there before, and nobody believes that we'll be there by now, except you and I, who want it very fast. It's only those who believe on that. So that is how you will know that there is more work to do. Inside there is more work to do. What are you doing on your own? How are you supporting? I'll be asking you, how are you supporting the government? I want you to hear last thing we're going to use to close. I want to hear the voice of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Remember this. Remember his voice. After you remember his voice, continuously in every platform to advocate why we have to call him our president, why he has to become the number one, why he is there after all his sorrow, after his pains, after all his crying. That's why we have to give him that name that belongs to him. The name belongs to who? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, not me. Either you, only him alone. Listen to this.
It's a promise and a pledge we're making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up or I am lowered into the grave. One of the two must happen. It is better for this heaven and this earth not to exist than for Biafra not to come to pass. It's a promise and a pledge we're making to them. They must. It's a promise and a pledge we're making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up or I am lowered into the grave. One of the two must happen. It is better for this.
I hope you had it. I hope you listen to this. What's coming to your mind? What are you thinking right now? How are you feeling? Why can't you call me your president anywhere you go? Anywhere you go on every platform? Why can't you even tell that person who's going to that particular platform to start using the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as the president of United States of Biafra? Are you the one to answer the name? Are you the one? Listen to this again.
But always remember that our enemies are numerous, and they will do everything they can within their powers, both morally and immorally, to try to dissuade us, to try to get us not to pursue that which we have been born to do, which is to restore Biafra, nothing more, nothing else. Not to own mansions, not to own flashy cars, not to own choice properties in the busiest and the biggest cities you have in the zoo. We have not come to do any of that. We have not come to serve the Janjaweed. We have not come to serve Alamajiri. We have not come to bow before any of them. We have not come that we may become frightened of what they may or may not be capable of doing. We have come to do that which is right before man on this earth and to go in heaven. That is why we must prevail. It doesn't matter what they do. Regardless of what they do, we must prevail. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are there.
Child, do you listen? That is the man I asked you that international law say that we have to call him our president. Britain shall never be well with them. What they did to us. But I thank God that we have removed ourselves from that. If you go to the United Kingdom today, many times people that are falling back, many of them are from there. Because of that thing that is in Britain. They used to colonize us. They don't want us to be free. That is why you see many of them. That is why you see an old woman who called herself Bishop Comfort, doing like a misleading people. Because that thing that Britain used to hold Nigeria down, they used to wash her head. So she cannot stand and do the right thing. That's why she must deviate at her age. When you see this American, this UK family of Biafra thing, do you know how much they kind of bound them 3 times? They are all corrupt, majority of them. So my people, from me, from here, have a wonderful day. Good night, good morning, good evening, depending on your time and location. Until we see again, thank you so much for coming. I love you all.